Hi guys, welcome to Lexington Consulting's YouTube channel. Today we're talking about the CIA triad, which is in cybersecurity. This is the pillar of the security baseline, what you want to follow when you're practicing best security standards, optimum security standards. You always follow this pyramid called the CIA triad, standing for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So whenever for you newbies to security or you long-term security pundits, you always want to bring back your decision around security on these three principles, which are confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So let's get into some of these so we can talk about them, so you can familiarize with some of these. So confidentiality, what is it? It's basically ensuring that your data or your information systems are accessed only by authorized people, making that data confidential, using least privilege principles, using user IDs and passwords and access lists. If you work for a hospital, you're ensuring that only doctors and nurses and those practitioners have access to that confidential information about the patient. Integrity, making sure that the data or the critical information is not compromised. So if you're keeping PII data, you ensure that that data is not compromised, that it is as accurate as possible, and there's no malicious attempts that have been made to make that data inaccurate. Next point is availability. Availability means the data and information systems are available when needed. So say, for instance, if I'm working in a hospital, I'm a doctor, I'm trying to diagnose an individual, I want to make sure my information systems are available. You as a security person, it's your responsibility that while providing security, you're also providing the availability of these resources. So you're protecting against DDos attacks, you're protecting against malware, encrypting this data so that it's not available. So let's get into some of the examples of each one of these. What does a confidentiality attack look like? Confidentiality attack could be a spyware installed on a server that makes it impossible to access. So that's a good example of a confidentiality attack. Another example is a data leakage of sensitive data, the point where that data is not available or it's available to people that are not supposed to have it. So if you're a doctor, you don't want to make sure that the janitor has access to confidential information. A man in the middle attack could be an example of somebody inserting themselves in a data stream and interrupting that access. And as a result, that compromises the confidentiality of that data. So you can imagine working for a bank, streaming information, and there's a man in the middle attack, and he's grabbing all your data information. So that's another example. Let's get into examples of integrity attacks. A good example of an integrity attack is unauthorized database access. Unauthorized database access to the point where a janitor has access to the data and manipulates the records. That's an example of an integrity attack. Another example is malware installed on a server that's containing critical data, and that malware starts to tamper with the data. The integrity is compromised. Somebody accesses PII records maliciously and alters the data. That data no longer exists as data that's it's full of integrity. Another example is availability attacks. DDos attacks on a server to the point where it's not accessible. Ransomware attacks that encrypts the server, the data, to the point that the data is not accessible, the files are not readable. Another example is somebody brings your APS or power down to the point that your servers are offline, which means now you can't access your server. You can't access your bank information. You can't access the patient information. You can't access critical data. So those are some of the examples, and some of these are very surface level. But as Lexington Consulting, we are in this industry of cybersecurity, penetration, malware, DDoS protection. So if you want more information, go to our website, lexingtonconsulting.com, or email us at info@lexingtonconsulting.com. We'll give you more details. If you're a company that's looking to, leverage a company that can come in and protect this data, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for watching our video, and have a good and blessed day. Thank you.